It's Jimmy here. The Riley's looking at a Range Rover 4.4 TDV8. Just inside the car here. It's one of the last of its shape here. I think it's a special edition if I'm right. Start it up. So I've got the suspension up because I was looking underneath, but that's what we're looking at. DPF full. Visit dealer. And it is in limp mode. Just having a look on the top done diagnostic machine here. We have code here for P2463-00 Soot Accumulation. So he's tried to clear it, and obviously it didn't work. The code just comes back as a pending, and obviously once you drive it a couple of miles, that will then turn back into a permanent code. It was a permanent code, but it's now classed as a pending. So same as usual here, we're going to use the Win's DPF cleaner connected to the compressor here, and using this spray gun here to connect it into the DPF. So just under the car here, disconnect the DPF pressure holes. That's this one runs back down along to the DPF there. We'll just connect up the JLM gun there just by pushing that into the DPF holes there. So you got the DPF just here. It's just behind the transfer box right there. Right, that's connected now. We can get the DPF cleaning fluid in there. It just runs along there and it's connected up there. Right, I've got the DPF fluid in, so we're just going to let it sit for a minute. So we'll come back in the car and you'll see if we try to clear the DTCs for the particle filter there, you can't just delete them until you've actually physically got the pressure down. And you can either do that by triggering off here, special functions, exhaust system, diesel filter, dynamic regeneration. So if you drive the car, it will read the pressure on the DPF differential pressure sensor, and once it thinks it's low enough, the grams will lower according to the pressure. It reads the grams in the DPF according to the pressure. So let me go back. So the soot mass in the particle filter is above the limit of 60 grams. Therefore, the forced dynamic regeneration cannot continue. The particle filter must be replaced. So it's saying it's unserviceable, basically. But yeah, we can fix that. What I'm going to do first is start the car now and flush that fluid out that we've put in. We'll put the ride height back down to normal. Normal height there selected. And we'll give it a few revs. You can see there the revs are a bit restricted. That's full acceleration. So I'm going to use this laser 3237 pedal depressor. Put that here. And we'll squeeze that up against the pedal there just to hold the revs. That'll hold the revs for me. Right, we can ease off on that now. Let it idle for a minute. Okay, so we're back in the van, or the car, sorry. So what I'm going to have to do for now, we've flushed all the fluid out, so now we're just going to tell it that it's had a new DPF. So we turn the ignition on to number 2 there. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I don't think that's not worked. It's a failure, so we'll try that again maybe. If not, we'll have to try it on the Autel. Okay, ignition is off. Okay, that's not working for some reason. It just says failure. So what I'll do before I give up on this, I'll go back out and go into it a different way into the services here. You go into the DPF menu, just try it like this, see what happens. Sometimes on my Autel, you got to do it in a different sort of, do it through a different setting and they work. So this is a Land Rover. Where are we? Switch ignition on. So I've got the engine started, so I'm just going to turn the engine off and turn the ignition on. Press OK. Yes, that is the VIN. So we're back here on this option. Particle filter replacement. Yes, yes, yes. Failure. Do not retry. Okay. So that's now worked. Right, we're back out with the old trusty Autel. Hopefully this will sort it out for me. I don't know what's going on this week. This is like the 3rd time this has happened. With connection issues, or had it with an Audi A6 now. Ford Mondeo. Now this one. So there we have it, 4.4 V8 with a particle filter. Yes, that is the vehicle. Scan. On fault with the particle filter. We will go in there. Active test live data. Back. So it's not giving us any options in there, so we'll go back again. Hot functions, DPF after treatment. So I'm going to switch the engine off again. Ignition on. DPF replacement. I suppose this will say which one of these is a better computer here. Fail to comply can cause an overload. Yeah, that's okay. Turn the ignition to number 2. Yes, it is. See if this works. Vehicle, yes, okay. Turn that off. Turn it back to number 2. Yes. Activate diesel service function. When a diesel particle filter is priced, the procedure is required. This resets. Yes. I thought we've already been past that bit. Looks like we're working. It's complete. Turn the ignition off. Press OK. Turn the ignition back to position 2. So that means ignition on. Yes. Read in the fault codes. Clear the fault codes after I've told it it's had a new DPF. Yes. So while that's doing that, the main reason I bought this top down here was I had an Audi A6 recently that this Autel wouldn't connect to, just wouldn't reset the DPF on it. So I thought, yeah, it's good to have a backup computer. And apparently A lot of my friends have given me great reviews about these, saying they do a lot more stuff that the Autel can't do. But obviously now in this case that didn't work, and on the Mondeo recently that didn't work, or this one didn't work either. But yeah, let's see if this Autel does the Range Rover here. Should do. We've done plenty of Range Rovers before. Okay, so the Autel there seems to have worked. That says reset complete. Turn the ignition to off. And done. Start the car up. Is it still saying DPF full? Service required, yeah. Never mind that one. That's it, perfect. Autel saves the day there. So now what I'll do is take it on a 10-minute drive. So what that will do is it'll read the actual pressure that is now in the DPF after the regeneration, or after the flush, sorry. And that will calculate the grams again in the soot within that time I've driven it. Once it's done that, I will then trigger off a regeneration for the vehicle just in case it needs it, and if it doesn't, it'll tell you on the grams of soot that it's calculated. Tell you what, this thing shifts for a big beast. Put your foot down. Ooh, that's fast. So what it's doing now is reading the soot mass of the DPF. So we're going to drive it now for another 10 or 15 minutes just to make sure that those soot grams are not increasing. Cruising at about 55 miles per hour there. 4.6 miles per gallon. That is juicy. Okay, we can see there during the drive there that the grams are actually lowering, which is a very good sign. Because if the DPF was still a little bit dirty, the grams would actually be increasing. So we are getting them lower, and we'll just make our way back now. So that's it. We're finished there with that. We're down to 1.4 grams. All the warnings have gone from the dashboard. Turn the ignition on. Do a code scan. Pass, no fault there. So that's it. We're all finished. Getting a little bit dark. See you in the next video.